And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review, and today I am reviewing Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Yes, this game was released, I believe, in 2004. Sorry, excuse me there. 2004, 2005-ish, I think, for the GameCube, actually. So released pretty late in the GameCube's life cycle, when it was, not as well received as it maybe had been when it was first released. And this is a weird game, because it's one of the few that requires the Donkey Kong bongos to do. The bongos I do not have with me right now, but I did use those to play the game, obviously. So let me explain how I got the bongos in this game. It was at our local game store. They were doing a special bundle for $50. You could get the Donkey Kong bongos, as well as Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and Donkey Konga 2, all for $50, and that is a insanely good deal. Especially with how expensive GameCube games are right now. And the bongos themselves already being worth a little over $50, that's a great deal. And it was a easy choice for me. Sadly, though, somebody had already come and claimed the bundle, so I was very disappointed. I waited a while. When I went back in there the next time, I was looking for something else, and I realized the bundle was still there. So I was like, did the guy come and pick up the bundle? And the owner was like, no. Do you want it? Absolutely, I fucking want it, and I brought it home that day. Now, what I originally thought was that Jungle Beat was just going to be another one of those rhythm games. I knew the Donkey Konga games was just one of those rhythm games. I'm probably never going to do a video on those, but that's my thoughts on it. Then we put the game in, and it's a platformer, and with like a story and bosses and combat and stuff. Like, all right, gotta do a review of this game. So we played through it. It's got a lot of playtime in on the game, and here we are today. So, because I played it at the one and only LikunMiffery's house, because he has the GameCube. I do have a Wii, just don't have a GameCube. Don't have it right now. It's at my brother's college. But anyway, whatever. Let's just jump right into it. My thoughts. This is going to be kind of a double review of the game itself, as well as using the bongos. Because that was the bongos are a weird experience. For sure. I'll get to those right now. They're fun to use, though. They're not like, they're very good responsiveness, especially with like the clapping part, which I did not think we were going to need to use. But the clapping, I thought that was going to be very insensitive, I didn't think it was going to work that well because of the age of them. So that's what I was trying to put out. The age of them wasn't going to be that great, or whatever. But I was actually very surprised that it was very responsive and worked really well. I was very surprised about that. Though it can get very tiring to use those bongos. This is not a long game by any means. It takes like 3.5, 4 hours to 100% the game, let alone just beat the game. And the levels are incredibly short. There's only 2 levels per kingdom, and then you go on to the next one. But you're doing this the whole time, doing this, and then like clapping and stuff like that. And then you're like, and then, I mean, imagine doing that for 3.5, 4 hours straight, So it's a very hard game to do in one sitting, even if it maybe doesn't seem like it from the start. But the bongos are cool. Definitely like using them. And they're pretty important. The game is very well incorporated for the bongos. So it's nice that it makes it better to use, in my opinion. But also some other aspects of the game. I thought the fights were a lot of fun. The boss fights they get to do, I thought they were really fun to do. They were not super hard, but not super easy either. They were very fun. Cool combat, action-packed, a lot of cool animations, stuff like that. Very immersive stuff to use with the bongos. Different ways to tackle the battles, which I thought was really good. So that was fun. And he can just... Donkey Kong in this game, I know he's supposed to be like a big monkey wrecking guy, but he really wrecks enemies in this game. There's no other side Kong characters that you get to play as. No super arching over storyline. I mean, there is a story, but it's not like the greatest. But it is literally just Donkey Kong going out and kicking the shit out of enemies. And you can do this throughout the levels. There's a certain amount of enemies you lock onto them and they're just bam, 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 just walloping the enemies. And it is just so much fun to do. So I really, really like that. Now, like I said, each kingdom in the game is super short. Only a couple levels. The levels themselves are a fair length, but not super, super long. But it does make for a pretty short game, like I said. Though the bongos make it so you can't really do it all in one sitting. But the game has a lot of replay value because of all the collectibles that you could do in the game. You want to get all the crests, go all the way up to platinum, which is a secret thing, kind of. So that's cool to go back and do those. And there's just a lot to collect, lots to do as well, lots to explore. Very immersive levels. You know, there's kind of a linear path that you can go to just to complete it, or to beat it, I guess. And if you want 100% complete it, though, there's a lot of different directions that you can go in the game. And I think that is awesome. It's really, really good. And I like it. So, one thing, now again, there's a few gripes about this game that I do have. One, again, is the bongos just, you know, being pretty exhausting, and stuff like that. It wasn't perfect responses either. It really is just like a rhythm thing on its own to like keep track of where you have to go, when to hit the buttons, and stuff like that. That can be a little frustrating at the beginning, but you get used to it as you go on. Another thing is just the massive Donkey Kong in the lower left corner of the screen, and like that shows what your movements you're doing. I didn't ever find it like super hard to see Donkey Kong or like see what we were doing. So I don't know why there's a bigger version of him in the bottom left. I mean, there's so many things going on in the game, so much that you can look at, so much that you can explore with and see. And to have almost a quarter of the screen taken up by a giant Donkey Kong when there's already the actual one, you can see it just fine. It doesn't make much sense. But I digress. Not a huge deal. They work around it pretty well, so it's not like it blocks a ton of stuff. You can still see a good amount of the game. Work around it pretty easily. And really, to be honest, most times, I didn't even know it was there. So, not a big deal at all. So, that's really all my thoughts. This is a surprisingly fun game. It's a wacky game for sure. And it's definitely a change of pace from some other kinds, you know, just regular 2D platformers or even like 3D platforms, where you just use a controller and you're using the bongos. But it's a fun game, and if you get your chance to play this game with the bongos, 100% recommend doing so. Yes, it's going to be exhausting. Yes, it can be a little frustrating at times. Yes, but it's going to be fun. You're going to love the battling. You're going to love the bongos are going to be just so, like, it's such a unique experience that being tired with them is not even really going to cross your mind that much. You're going to love it. So, I would recommend giving it a chance if you get the chance to play it. So that would be just cool. But that is going to do it for this game review. If you have ever played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And that's going to do it for this video as well. So stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more game reviews and other awesome stuff. Until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.